Okay, hello, welcome back to another video. Today we are playing e4 as per usual. My opponent responds with a Sicilian. We're going to play a Mengarini, of course, a Mengarini Sicilian, a3 here. Beautiful little weapon to then play b4 in response to knight c6. Take here, give up the pawn, although they may not take. They do take c3, kick the knight back, and then play this move d4. When you play the Mengarini and you see knight c6, you will almost always get this position, in which the best move for black is d5. Let's just scare them by pre-moving the recapture of d5. Beautiful, brutal stuff. They are thinking he knew exactly what I was going for. And then here, we do not move, we do not play knight f3, we do not play bishop d3, we don't play any of the moves that look like good chess preparing to castle. We take this knight, and we break a very important rule about not putting your knights on the edge of the board. Knights on the rim are dim or grim, or whichever maxim you subscribe to. We play knight to a3. Players that know when to break chess principles are the best players, and that is me, the best player you will probably see on YouTube. Ignore all of the titled ones and the ones that are amateur and better than me. Okay. The point of knight to a3 is that we are going for b5, which is a super fragile square, and it's not so obvious that it's a fragile square because, okay, why can't they just play a6 and stop you from going to b5? Well, here the rook has been opened up. So with a6, we can go to b5, and if they take, then we play rook takes rook. We've not only won the exchange there, literally just get predicted. We've not only won the exchange here, but we have a beautiful infiltrating rook. This pawn is super weak. The bishop is hanging currently. There is literally zero kingside development. Oh my god. So this is why you should play the Mengarini. Beautiful open a file. My opponent didn't need to take that, but if they didn't take that, they were honestly going to suffer similarly dire repercussions with the family fork we see here. King, queen, and rook all getting hit. If the queen goes back, we can play bishop f4 and mount further pressure with this fork here. It's really not pleasant. So, man, what are you doing? Okay, my opponent wants a rematch. We'll rematch them, and maybe they can redeem themselves after that brutal loss. They play d4. Okay, we'll go c5. We will play the old Benoni. Now, if they take, there are chances to get a similarly quick win. But they go past, we'll go knight to f6 here. Give me c4. There we go. e5, the Benko Gambit. I really, really like this opening. In fact, this is, I think, my favorite opening to play at the moment. They take, we go a6, and we try and give up another pawn, basically tearing open our own a and b files. There are some cool lines if they play knight c3, the Zaitsev system, or Zaitsev system. I don't exactly know how to pronounce that. Or they can go e3. Okay, we'll go g6. And the point of this is we just don't care about this. We let our opponent play c4, takes. That's three moves they're investing to basically open up a bunch of development for us at some point. We don't even take back here now. We just go bishop to g7, I believe. And we can castle, and we can play d6, and we can have a lovely pawn structure here with a beautiful bishop, and just play on this side of the board. Our opponent goes for knight to c3 here. I think we just castle. Although actually, knight c3, maybe I'll go queen a5. Yeah, we'll play queen to a5. This is one of the main ideas in the Benko Gambit in a lot of lines. The queen pins the knight here, and a very obvious reply is bishop to d2. But then we don't even have to move the queen. There's no scary discovery at all. And the queen finds a great activity on the a file, given that it will be opened eventually. The queen and rook form a battery towards the a pawn. We can play d6, get the knight into b6, and swing our other rook after castling over to the b file. We're going to have a great time. So here, I believe we can go for bishop takes a6. So we were 2 pawns down here, having given up our b and a pawn. We claim one of them back. They take with the bishop, and we will take backwards with the queen, stepping out the discovery, and just cutting down this long, beautiful diagonal here. So we're going to leave this tension. If our opponent wants to take and give us free knight development again, knight on the rim. Oh, you know what? I might have to try and let this happen just so I can title the video like "Breaking Chess Principles" is a good idea. I don't know. It's a work in progress. But e6 here. We're going to complete the pawn structure. Take if you wish. I will take with my knight, and we will go in for b4, and there will be a very, very similar idea of like if you play a3 and try and take this knight, then we pick up the rook here. which would, beautiful. The symmetry in these games, completely different openings. This is unbelievable. The symmetry in these games. I'm so glad I kept recording. What? This is unbelievable. It's the same thing on the same side of the board with the completely different color pieces in an entirely different opening, 12 moves deep into a Benko Gambit. Wow. Now, of course, my opponent will not make the same mistake again and hang a rook with check. I would be extremely surprised if they do that. Their hesitance as well lets me know that that is not very likely. But if they don't take it, then, I mean, what are they going to do? They've got big problems here. I think they should probably move their king, genuinely. How do you stop the infiltration on these light squares? Wow. Wow. And as you see, open A file, open B file. This is really good. This is really cool. Now, I could castle. They did play king e2, fair enough. I could castle and bring my rook to the b file. I could also play like king d7 and bring my rook to the b file. Because the queens aren't on the board anymore. I feel like that might be a good idea. Also, whoa, what am I talking about? We've attacked this pawn as well. That was part of the fork. Like, we threaten this check, we threaten this check. Obviously, this is a more meaningful check. But we also threaten the pawn here. So after the king moves, why not just take that? Also, this knight would have to move after my opponent plays knight to f3 anyway, because the rooks would then be connected. So if they take it and we take their rook, they could then recapture, and we would have just lost a knight. So, okay, bit slow missing that for a second, but oh well. We take back, and now we just have a lovely position. I mean, we've got the open bishop. We can swing the rooks over to here and just try and pick up these pawns. However, immediately, I'm not so sure what we play. Because if I take this, bishop takes, it's going to be hard for me to move this knight. I'm genuinely feel like I should play king d7 here. And you know what? I'm going to go for it. King d7. We're going to bring the rook to the b file and put pressure on this pawn. If you want to take, I will take. There will then be even more pressure on this pawn. I will have a beautiful central knight. There is the move e4 that's playable here, which my opponent might do. But, you know, if you want me to move this knight, you're going to have to work for it. They place their rook on the c file. I feel like this makes a lot of sense. I don't understand why we wouldn't play this. Okay, rook. Rook's on the A and B file. Literally, like I said from the opening, Benko Gambit, whole idea is open your A and B file, and then look where that has got us. A beautiful endgame. This is one of the loveliest positions I've ever seen. I'm not even joking. That sounds like I'm exaggerating, but genuinely, look at this. Look at the bishop, look at the rooks. This is just how to make your pieces do the work for you. I'm not even needing to calculate anything. There's been like zero calculation, like tactically, in this game. Okay, so how cramped and disgusting this is. Rook comes up to defend the pawn. I think we just, maybe king d7 was a mistake, because maybe I wanted knight d7. Point is, I'm trying to unleash this bishop now. I might actually play knight to e8. Oh, whoa, let's not hang a knight. Okay, calm, come on. This is such a good video because of the symmetry in the games. I cannot be throwing it away, hanging a knight. We could just move this knight though, honestly, and go knight b6, knight c4, which is like, I mean, I'm going to do that 100%. Why not? Because knight c4, we hit the bishop, we hit this pawn again. The pieces are just beautiful. You can't even play b4 because I just take, and if you take, you lose a rook. Oh my days. Oh my goodness. Guys. This is some beautiful chess. And like, let me just go back while we wait for our opponent to move. It's that same idea when we got the open A file. I mean, I'm surprised our opponent played a3 again. I was just expecting to play knight here and be like, look at this idea. They couldn't have played a3. They went for a3. We hit them with the same problem. But at least this time they did not take. But yeah, we then hit the pawn. I nearly missed this. But we'll look at this in the analysis. This is kind of why it's one of my favorite openings. Like, this is such a nice position for black. It might not be so obvious to some of you why, but look how many squares this rook can see. 1. So we see b3. Okay, our opponent is going to have to start pushing the pawns. But that is going to weaken other pawns and this diagonal as well. So do I just have a tactic like knight e4? Straight up looks like a tactic, honestly. We hit this, we hit this, we hit this with the bishop, and if you take my knight on e4, I pick up a rook. Not only that, but then the a pawn's going to fall. Okay, so knight e4 you can't take, I take your rook. And then Okay, so knight e4, then what? It's got to be knight e4. Guys. Oh my god. Look at the pieces. This could actually be one of the best games of chess. I mean, my opponent kind of didn't make it too hard for me here, but just aesthetically, wow. So the rook steps up. Okay, there has to be some tactic now. Like, do I take the knight? Bishop takes, rook takes, bring the other knight in. I feel like that's good for me, but honestly, why not I just take the bishop? Because if rook takes, you lose this. Bishop takes. I guess there's knight takes, which is interesting. Maybe this wasn't so much a tactic. I mean, it's a good move, I think. Probably the best move. I'll be tempted to say. Here, knight takes. Huh. I actually really like taking this. Bishop takes, rook takes. Knight to d5. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm seeing something disgusting. Wait a second. Knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, knight d5. Now, if you want to hold this pawn, which has been attacked here, oh my god, the rook steps across to here, and we go like this. And we fork both of the rooks, and if you take, you lose this rook. Guys, I don't know what's happened. I'm playing like a genius. I'm playing like an absolute genius. Look at this. Oh my god, 95, we hit the rook. If you want to hold this pawn, you go rook here. And then I hit you with the most disgusting move. Knight to b4. Hitting both the rooks here. And this a pawn can't take. Because then we take this with check. And if you don't play rook here, what are you going to do? Play rook here? Because there's the same four. Actually, no, there's not the same four because this rook's then held. But if you go rook here, this pawn's going to hang. And then this pawn's going to fall. And then the knight's going to come in with check and hit this and this. And oh my god, what a position. We are positionally dominating. Material, dead equal. Literally, we both have a knight. We both have 6 pawns. We both have 2 rooks. But look at how well we've treated our rooks. Just put them on A and B files and trusted them to do their thing. I think my opponents realized that if here there's this tactic with knight b4. I'm glad I saw that from a few moves back actually. And so, I mean, else what are they going to do? Like rook here, we just take. Rook back, we also just take. And the taking is like a fork in itself because it forks hitting this pawn. Guys. It forks hitting this pawn, it also forks the fork. We've got a fork of forks. Because, oh my god, and then we just go check, and it's just over, guys. It's just over. Resignation in 3, 2, 1. They don't resign. Fair enough, but we take the rook here. Now they resign. They've got to resign here. How are you... Oh, I think they're kind of just raging and playing on. Right. We've won this game. I mean, I think I just start pushing the pawn, honestly. We've got a pass pawn. Why not? Maybe I should play rook a2 and keep the king in here, actually, because maybe now the king comes over. But I was really... Oh, they've left the game? No, they came back. I don't know if they're going to rage quit or not. The knight comes over. Okay, honestly, we're going to go rook here just to keep the king pinned to the back rank. I mean, obviously it can go to g2, but then that's just further away from the passed pawn. We also support the c2 square here, which is a key thing. The knight can't block the progress of the pawn, so we can go here. Knight's going to have to take. Or the knight goes here to hold this. But we can play another beautiful move. Rook here. Sacrificing a full rook, but diverting the knight away from c1. This might be the most beautiful game I've ever played. I just feel like such a grandmaster right now. We make the queen, and then how do we do this? We just go check with the knight. Oh my god. Oh my, the precision. Wow. Let's analyze those games. Okay, so here we are in the analysis. We are only going to analyze the second game because, in fact, you know what? While we're just in this analysis board, I'll just show you guys. If I flip the board here and we just play through the other game, it was e4. It was not e5, sorry. It was e4, c5 here, b4 takes, c3, knight back, here, takes, queen takes, knight a3, a6, takes, here, and then I don't even know what they did, but they just hung their bishop. That was all prep basically, and all the best moves. I mean, after a3 and going for this, after d5 takes, you see the best move, and then knight a3, best move. They have to try and find queen a5, by the way, which after bishop d2 walks into 2 potential discoveries. I've never understood this move. But you see here, knight c4 would have actually been really good as well to go in for b6, but I really like playing this, because after we do see queen d8, then we can go for d5, we can also go for bishop f4, really cool ideas, but obviously takes, best move. And then, I mean, my opponent, I don't even remember what they did, but they just hung the, like, say they played this. I don't think they did, but we just took the bishop, and that was the end of the game. Now, let's analyze the game that hopefully you guys can learn a lot from, because, yeah, that first game I've kind of just included because of how similar that idea of the open A file was. But let's go back here. We've got the database open. Okay, I'm just gonna delete that. There we go. Okay, d4, c5, immediate inaccuracy, but this is book moves. This is the one thing I think I prefer about chess.com, is that they have book moves, so it doesn't sort of start shouting at you for playing theory. We've got the master's database open. You see d5, knight here, c4, and b5 is the Benko gambit here. Accepting is by far the most popular move at master level, which my opponent played. a6 now, by far the most popular move, and after they go e3, we can take, but I like leaving them with the opportunity to take. I think it was weird that my opponent then did take. We played an inaccuracy here, but again, after they take, that was also an inaccuracy because now we transpose back into some theory where I'm doing really well. You see there's still master games in this line. Oh, sorry, no, wait, this is the Lee Chess database. I've been completely waffling. Yeah, okay, master games are here. But as you see, look, takes, a6, by far the best move. And yeah, this is one of those rare ones which is played almost as much as the masters in the master's database as it is in the Lee Chess database. But after g6, here, okay, I guess we'll turn the database off now, it's not too useful. But we go queen a5, I think that was the best move. Let's turn on the engine here. Yeah, queen a5, beautiful. And after bishop to d2, picking up the pawn, bishop takes, and it likes knight takes. I took with the queen in order to prevent castling here. If you go knight f3 and try and castle, you will of course not be able to do that because the queen cuts this beautiful diagonal. My opponent went with the queen here. I didn't castle, sorry, I played d6. Pretty much the same level of good move. And after queen takes, knight takes, you see this similar idea starting to form here, and I'm already edging towards being a little bit better, even though I'm down a pawn, by the way. Keep in mind, in this position, I'm down a full pawn. But my positional dominance, or my positional, I guess my activity of the pieces is good enough. Let's just, oh, by the way, I didn't mention, this was a 94% accurate game with 4 inaccuracies, but some of those inaccuracies were book moves, so we don't care about those. And then here, yeah, same thing again, knight b4. And what are you going to do? I mean, king e2 was the best move. I called it. My opponent, maybe rook. King e2 was one of the best moves, apparently the best move. My opponent found it, but then we take the pawn here. King d7 would have also been good, so would castling, but we take the pawn. Knight comes in here. Guys, if you're not subscribed right now, king d7, top engine move, playing it right here. And after the rook comes in, rook b8. Guys. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely gorgeous. And then I could have gone knight b4 here, which is interesting. I decided to drop back with the knight to go into c4. But of course, I could have gone knight c4 again because this rook's unprotected. The rooks are no longer connected. And we hit this rook. It would have to drop back. Let's just have a quick look at that line. Knight b4, rook here. And then it wants me to go back to c6. To do what? To just sit here and wait for my opponent to crumble under the pressure, I guess. Rook 8. Okay, wait, b4? Why would they play? You know what? I like my move as well. Knight b6, and then, yeah, look at this. Mistake, or blunder rather, and we punished perfectly, I think. Knight e4, rook here. Takes. It prefers bishop takes, because I don't understand why. Bishop takes, and it wants knight d5. How? How does it want knight d5? The bishop goes back, and then what? Then I take this. Oh my god, that's outrageous. Okay, so I just throw both the knights in. I decided to go for this line that I saw where we take, rook here, knight here, and as I said, if rook to d3, trying to preserve this pawn, we have this, and if they take, we take this with check. Gorgeous stuff. If they block and do this, and then they take with the king, and we can pick this up. Dead lost game. So instead, they went back with the rook. We take here, and it's that fork of ideas, and one of those ideas being a fork, so I guess a fork of forks of some sort. Knight c3, picking up the rook, taking the pawn, and we're just completely winning here, pushing the pawn. And this was actually a really clinical conversion as well. Just push the pawn, and then, okay, the engine doesn't enjoy my rook a1, but as a human, you go, oh, It kind of does. As a human, you gotta show some love to rook a1 here. Point being, after knight takes, queen just promotes. It's just clinical. And if you don't take with the knight, then I'm going to promote here, and then we've won the knight. So the knight goes back here. Queen d1, best move. And opponent resigns because after they move the king, we take the knight. And oh, what a beautiful game that was. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I definitely enjoyed playing them, and hopefully those ideas of the open A file and jumping in with the knight there, breaking the chess principles by going to the edge of the board first and then threatening these kind of forking ideas, the same in the other game. Hopefully that is both entertaining and instructional for you guys. That is what I'm trying to do with the content on this channel. If you enjoyed and you're new, please like and subscribe and all of that stuff to help out the channel. I'll be back with more excellent chess content very soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.